Hello, welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are going to be beginning the narration character voice acting for the Such Is the Joy of Our Reunion story. So then, welcome everybody to our 6th Sui story. Yes, if you can believe it, it has been already 5 full stories and we are now on number 6. And of course, there's been a couple of offshoot stories that sprung off from the Sui saga essentially. But we are now at the main line entry of number 6. Such is the joy of our reunion. And it's time to meet more siblings. But yeah, man, it has been so many stories in this plotline already. And we are still trucking on, and somehow I do not believe we are gonna be ending with this one. Something is telling me that. But yeah. So far, I obviously do not know the ending of this story and how far we're gonna get with this and what is gonna be covered outside of what is gonna be in this very first part, but yeah, I have an inkling, let's put it that way. Let's put it that way, we are not gonna be done yet. But I'm still excited to bring this story to everybody as always, and I hope you guys are also excited to see how this story is gonna develop and what new events are gonna be going on. Considering that this time around, we have yet another, as I would like to call it, a B-plot essentially that is happening through the story that is also seemingly entangled with the main story in some shape or form, and this time around it's the backstory for Blaze. As we're gonna meet essentially her family and, well, her circumstances in general, what led to her family to go to Victoria and be there, and then, you know, down the line she will meet Rhode Island and everything, but essentially the beginning of this story today at least will be covering the Blaze part, and then I guess later on we're gonna start slowly to dive into the Sui plot. As always, that's kinda like the whole thing with these stories a lot of times. The beginning is kinda like the B-plot introduction, and then in the later half we start to go into Sui territory. But yeah, coming back to this whole Sui saga stuff, if you're someone who is new to Arknights and is listening to this and has not yet had the experience yet to experience or read rather through the previous Sui stories and are asking yourself, or asking me for that matter, hey, do I need to know anything before going into this story? And if my pre-ramble hasn't already kind of spoiled that answer, I would recommend going through the Sui story up until this point. There is a lot of characters that have been introduced, especially since the beginning of Invitation to Vine, all the way up until here, and they keep on reappearing and they keep on popping up, and their agendas keep on advancing, and what their whole plot is, their relationship between each other. There is a lot of characters. There is a lot of characters, and there has been a lot of character development for them essentially. So yeah, my advice would be to witness these stories in a row and see how everything develops, and if you have questions, just leave them in the comment section of this video. But yeah, in general, in the description of this video, you will find pretty much all of the voiceovers for all of these Sui stories, the main line at least, numbered from 1 to the current number 6. Go in order, see them all, how they happen. But of course, if you don't wanna and just wanna continue with this story and see how this one is developing, you're free to do so. I'm not gonna be stopping anybody as always. If you just wanna jump into this and see how it is and how you would enjoy it, feel free to, but as I said, there will be a lot of characters from previous Sui stories that are coming back, especially with where this story is taking place and everything. Yeah, there will be a lot of returning characters, but the beginning of the story is very Blaze-centric, so, you know, at least the beginning of the story should be something that you don't have to feel like, oh, is this something from the previous Sui stories? No, the Blaze stuff is something that was teased with the game pretty much since Blaze got introduced. It has been a dangling thread that has been there since year 1 of the game, essentially. When the game launched and Blaze got introduced and her character file got introduced to us, and down the line we got module stories for Blaze as well, and the character Lazy as well. She has been with the game for a long ass while, and even her voice lines have been talking about Lazy, that is. Her voice lines have been talking about Blaze and her actual, like, teasing her actual origin and name and everything. And yeah, it has been a dangling thread. It has been a dangling thread, and this story here at the beginning will also slightly introduce the whole thing of Lazy and Blaze meeting, essentially, and how they came to Baizao here, where the story is taking place. And yeah, you'll see a lot of stuff essentially when it comes to this. And personally, I'm kind of happy to finally see this thread to be untangled and get to know what is happening, or rather what happened to her father and her family circumstances, what her connection to Yan is in general, because she is Yanese essentially in her heritage, her country of origin, essential territory of origin rather. So yeah, it has been a thread, and I'm happy to finally see it untangled. It is a very, very interesting thing that I've noticed with all of the Sui stories so far. It's very comical, but you can kind of describe every single Sui story so far with daddy issues. Isn't it funny that every single one of the Sui stories has like a main plot and a B plot, and they all kind of revolve around daddy issues for all characters? Why? Why is that a thing? But yeah, it's funny, but it's got a thing. I mean, 2 years ago with that, we had the plotline with Waifu being finally resolved with her dad. Last year, even though it was new characters, we still had some sort of daddy issue characters there. Invitation to Wine had its own stuff. Oh god, really. I don't even know why that crossed my mind, but all of a sudden I suddenly realized when I was forming this introduction here that all of these plot lines have like daddy issues. I don't even remember if I said this in the older voiceovers on the previous Sui stories, but yeah, that's kind of the thing here. But anyway, coming back to the whole plot, today, let's begin with this. Welcome to Pizza Slice the City, or Pizza City. I love the design of this city, and it's making me hungry. And as you guys will also discover, all of the titles and all of the descriptions for every single one of these stages will make you hungry. So please eat before listening to this. I wish I was joking. No, there's so... I mean, if it's not already obvious because of the character Yu, it's gonna be very food-centric in this one, especially like what is happening currently in Baizao will make it even worse. If you're listening to this story on an empty stomach, oh god. But yeah, anyway, one other thing before we begin that I want to say is there will be a couple of moments throughout all of these cutscenes that we are going to be covering today where there is two characters talking essentially off screen. You can only see the text on screen. It's easy to tell it's like one or two characters, but I'm trying to point it out because especially here on the first stage that we're going to be beginning in a second, there will be two characters talking, for example, here on this thing, and for the time being, I do not know who these two are. So in a couple of instances where there is going to be text like this, where it's going to be hard to tell who is talking, because I like doing character voices, the voices that I'm gonna give people like that, characters like that, are gonna be very generic. I'm gonna just do a tiny twang on all of them just to make them at least recognizable between each other when one is talking and when the other is talking. But for the time being, I do not know who these two people are here at the beginning, and in a couple of other instances probably going into the future. So if you hear just generic voices for characters, it's purely there because I do not know who these two are at the moment. So I don't wanna mislead someone into thinking, oh, is it that character? Just know if later down the line some stuff comes back and it gets explained who the people were talking in these moments, then you'll know, and just remember that, so I'm just saying this, it doesn't confuse you, essentially. And sorry if I confused you already. But yeah, anyway, first introductory cutscene for this, ORST-1, Chrysanthemum tea with dried tangerine peels. Dried orange peels left to age for 40 years in the same cup with freshly picked chrysanthemum. Do the flavors of yore stand up to a careful tasting? Sir, are you saying such a remarkable individual actually existed in the history of Great Yan? Yes. Cataloging books, organizing texts, promoting education. If she did so much for all life under heaven, why does no one remember her, or even know her name? Sir, can you identify this character? I don't believe I've ever encountered it before. It's not that no one remembers her. It's simply that her true name is one lone word and was never recorded in the history books. Isn't it a pity? Her pen captured Great Yan's long history and vast expanse, yet not a single page in the historical records bears her name. Sir, if I were to complete all the missing records, do you think I could reconstruct her image? 40 years ago. April 21st, 1062, Guyu, Grain Rain. Sir! It's raining so hard out there. Why not come inside, have a pot of nice warm tea, and wait out the rain? No need. This rain won't be stopping anytime soon. I should keep moving. Some people want the rain to stop, some hope it carries on. The umbrella vendor is smiling from ear to ear, but the passerbys are downright miserable. A fascinating thought. Friend, you should take a moment to rest. I was asked to remind you, the road ahead is rough and uneven. A certain someone worries you might misstep and get your shoes wet. Please, just follow me, sir. Your friend is already waiting for you inside. Hi, Minister. It's been a while. No, these days you're the Grand Tutor. It has been some time indeed, since we bid each other farewell in human. I expected to meet with the Sui regulator and the Ministry of War first upon this return to the capital to deliver my report. That's why I've arranged to meet with you in advance. His Imperial Majesty has passed. When? 2 weeks ago. I think if His Majesty had died of natural causes, you would not be coming to see me about it. Does this mean... The man sitting in these shadows holds out his hand. A black Weiqi stone rests in his palm. 60 years ago, he escaped from that ancient temple and turned himself into 181 black Weiqi stones, which scattered across the lands. Their current whereabouts are unknown. 2 weeks ago, the Sui regulator found this stone in the capital. What has he done? I do not know. The only thing I'm certain of is that he could not have entered the Forbidden City. Someone must have gone out to meet him. Investigating this person's identity would be sensitive. His machinations likely will not involve others. I shouldn't have come to you today, but when the convict caused all this turmoil before, you were the one who subdued him. Grandmaster, do you know anything of this? Not a thing. I have not seen him since the incident. Then I believe you, Grandmaster. Do you need anything from me? Do not linger here. Return to Human at once. Ursus is in constant turmoil, and there is a changing of the guard in Human. We must not allow morale to be shaken. I will handle the Sui regulator and the Ministry of War myself. It is precisely because you are not entangled in this affair that I can entrust you with such a crucial task. Understood. I will see the Sui regulator continue to investigate the Wei Qi matter in secret. During this crucial time, you should remain out of sight, Grandmaster. We did not meet here today. Regarding the true Lung, how is His Highness Yan Wu? At this moment, he should be... Yan Wu... Yan Wu was the one who went to His Imperial Majesty on the night he died. Your Highness, 28 members of the traitor's family have been imprisoned. But after we checked the list, we found there was a single individual missing. An infant, just under a month old. The Imperial Guard searched the Grand Preceptor's mansion thoroughly today, but found no traces of the baby. A newborn could not have run off by herself. Someone went through the trouble to whisk her away. Your Highness need not worry. The Imperial Guard will find her. Earlier today, the Ministry of Justice requested a meeting. He seeks His Highness's advice on this series of cases. Handle them according to the laws of Yan. I'll tell him. Where is my elder brother now? According to our reports, he left the capital just half an hour ago. Some of our Imperial Guard have defected with him. The soldiers guarding the city did not dare to stop them, without orders to do so. Indeed. I never ordered them to keep him in Baizao. He was unwilling to stay and left everyone behind. How many Imperial Guardsmen were with him? 18. Even after committing such an unforgivable crime, my elder brother can still send the Grand Preceptor to die in his place. He can still command the unwavering loyalty of these 18 Deathsworn. How many courtiers are still devoted to him? How many still hope that he will retake the throne? Yet it is your Highness who now sits on the throne, not him. Therefore, it falls upon your Highness to ensure Yan's eternal prosperity. All castes of Yan may afford hesitation and uncertainty, save your Highness. It's been so long since I've left this palace. Grand Commandant, tell me, has the spring rain yet ceased in Baizao? The rain may stop whenever your Highness desires. If your Highness has changed your mind, you yet have time to stop them. I'm exhausted. The Imperial Kitchen has prepared some bao soup and shredded bamboo shoots, if your Highness desires. Very well. There. Don't cry. We're on our way home. We're almost there. Pick up the pace, please, if you could. It's raining too hard, and I can't see too well. Couldn't go any further at this rate. How much farther to the next station? At least 30 li. Brother, just how urgent is your business that you'd bring your whole family along to travel on a night like this? Please, just go faster. What the fuck? What's somebody doing out here in the wilderness at this hour? The man looks around, but the endless rain blocks his view. It is too dark for him to see anything. We'll have to get out of here. Sir, I'll give you all the money I have. Take your carriage to the next stage station. If anyone asks, do not tell them you carried passengers with a baby tonight. I beseech you, good sir. Huh? Where are you going in this weather? We'll follow the path through the northern woods. Ah! What is it? The baby! The baby is gone! It's her. The baby is sleeping soundly in her cradle, oblivious to the mud and blood on her face. I did everything you asked. I know their methods, and I know how to answer them. Don't worry, I won't allow any blood to stain you. Good sir, I have no way to repay your kindness. No, you need not thank me. I did not do this for you. She's done so much for me, yet what I do today will neither clear her name, nor even begin to avenge her. I have no family and no affairs to settle after my death. I ask only one favor of you. Please, take this girl in. You need not tell her anything. Just let her grow up and live her life in peace. You know, if she stays here, it will be risky, with a greater possibility that this old case will be reopened. But isn't that what you want? We may be powerless to change the situation right now. But if one day, be it 3 or 4 decades later, the truth is revealed, all the blood shall not have been shed in vain. Right then. I swear it. And that is our introductionary cutscene. Very short, very crisp, and taking 40 years ago place. So, that answered one very quick question as to when are these Sui stories actually taking place in? What's the timeline? Which year are we in? Because that was one of the things that they never answered, but they always left it up to speculation. I don't even think the previous Sui story, the Shu one, gave any kind of year indication, and all of the Sui stories felt very detached from the main story because we never knew when and how. They never mentioned essentially anything else that is happening around them outside themselves. And now we know why. This thing is taking place, this specific story right now, the one for you and Blaze, is taking place a whole 4 years after the events of Chapter 14. Chapter 14 ended in 1098, and I do not know right now, and I do not want to know until the story comes out, when Chapter 15, the upcoming one, is gonna be taking place for the main story. But yeah, this pretty much answers all of the questions of why they never bothered with like teasing anything from main story or suggesting that other stories are taking place alongside it or mentioning anything like very heavy around them happening. And it's very simple. It's very far off into the future, technically. Quite some time into the future, essentially. But yeah, now we have the answer. This is the year 1102, and I'm gonna presume since Invitation of Wine, we were probably starting around the year 1100 and then just moving on inwards, or rather forwards in time, and we are now in the year 1102, and we'll see when this whole story is gonna end. We're at the end, technically, of this year as well, so that is another thing. But yeah, anyway, with now the year established finally, we can move on to our training stage, titled Bitter Gourd with Wood Ear. A refreshing appetizer made from bitter gourd and black fungus, seasoned with soy sauce, sugar, mature vinegar, and hot pepper, giving it a little of every flavor. Yeah, that is a mixture, alright. And yeah, welcome to reading about recipes on on every single, well, at least the ones we're gonna go through today, story stages and training stages. Also very quickly, considering the training stage does have enemies here and everything, the descriptions that I usually include in these in-between parts, I will start introducing the enemies from the actual stage, the first battle stage. And also very quickly, yes, there is a couple of small little interactions with characters here on the training stage. It's mostly Dusk and Neon just bantering with each other, but nothing really happens outside of. I mean, it's a training stage. It's there to introduce you to the mechanics. Time to cook. But yeah, anyway, moving on to our first proper battle stage, titled Scallion Tofu. Made from spring onions and tofu, it takes quite a bit of skill to give it the proper clean taste. Of course it does. And I'm getting hungry as I'm recording this. Let's go. Flashback. Check, please. Wait a minute, I'm busy. Oh, all you ordered was a bowl of plain noodles. It's on the house. Oh, come on. I'll be leaving the money on the counter. Bye. Thank you, come again. Eating so little for lunch at that age. What gives? Too many colors blind the eyes. Too many flavors dull the tongue. One must not indulge in the desire for food. Didn't you just eat the one bowl of plain noodles? This is my 5th. I'm not like you. I prefer my food light and simple. I never add any seasonings when I eat. No salt, vinegar, chili, scallions, garlic, or spices at all. When I'm eating, I want to taste the food itself. If the basics are even slightly less than fresh, my taste buds will detect it instantly. Judging by your Mandarin robes, you're a deputy minister with the Judicial Review Office, aren't you? Your tongue must be the greatest judge under heaven. You have a way with words. When next you feel you've been wronged, come and find me at the Judicial Review Office. My name is Yu Cheng. I won't need to trouble your magisterial greatness with that sort of thing. I am but a humble officer of the Ministry of Rights. I'm not often wronged. Well, come and see me anyway. I'll treat you to a bowl of noodles. What is your name, young man? I am called Gu Xuan. And back to present. Hey Jiang, I'm here! Coming. What'll it be today, Liu? I'll have the usual. Any specials today? Well, persimmons are in season. We also got a fresh batch of chestnuts today. You can either eat them raw, nice and crispy, or cooked sweet and tender. How about stewed beef's belly with chestnuts and then some osmanthus flavored dried persimmons for dessert? Nice! Alright, I'll try that then. By the way, that sign we fixed for your restaurant a while back. Don't worry, I checked with our chef. This meal is on the house. You've taken care of all our carpentry work for the past few years. Treating you to a few meals is the least we can do. You're too kind. He's really a great cook. The greatest under heaven, I'd say. I can't find food this good anywhere else. That wooden talisman I gave him, I meant it. He was too modest to accept the gift. Come on, enough already. We're just a little old eatery. It's you who keeps us in business. You don't need to flatter us like that. By the way, where is that young chef of yours? I didn't see him sitting outside and chatting with the guests today. Don't even bring him up. He's been sulking since early this morning. There's this famous food creator going around lately, taking advantage of the buzz from the feast of 100 Delicacies, you know? I hear she's visiting all the hidden little eateries in town. Rating them one by one in the newspaper. I know. I hear she published an article reviewing taverns in Baizao. She's even writing a book. Says she wants to compile all the best recipes from Baizao, past and present. She calls herself the Wandering Foodie or something like that. She's certainly ambitious. Baizao has countless taverns, and these places have been making their dishes for generations. To write a book about them, she'll need a wealth of knowledge and a stomach big enough for all that food. Exactly, but I hear the book she's working on, Baizao Cuisine and Food Culture, already earned some praise from the head chefs of the 4 great restaurants, and none of them have anything bad to say about her reviews. Rumor has it, she's dropping in here today. Well, you have nothing to worry about. With your chef's cooking, even the harshest critic will have nothing to criticize, right? You know his temper. Whether the reviews are good or bad, he can't stand people talking about his food. He says he doesn't want to get into a cooking competition, but that's just because he's afraid he'll lose. Alright, that's enough of that. The only thing I'm worried about is people discovering this place, so I won't be able to get a table here anymore. Knock on wood. Oh, another customer. Hey, look, the two of you coming right at this hour. We're right across from the Judicial Review office. I guess it's kind of become your unofficial cafeteria. If it wasn't for this restaurant, I would have resigned and moved home ages ago. Don't say such things. We have a duty. How could you think of resigning? What's up? Why so serious? It's the Feast of 100 Delicacies, of course. The busiest time of the year for the office. I'd have a good night's sleep in a month. I can keep going like this. The precautions are necessary, though. There are so many tourists here now. If something bad were to happen, it would be a disaster. No matter how careful we are, there's just too much going on. Something is bound to happen. Hey, enough shop talk. Just enjoy the food. You think we are talking about work because we want to? By the way, did you hear about the Ding Feng Lu case? What case? If there's something to say, just say it. Why all the secrecy? I'm not trying to be secretive. This case is just downright eerie. On the 15th of last month, when Ding Feng Lu was busiest, every one of its 100 or so stoves were burning all day and late into the night. That night, one of these stoves caught fire, and the staff could not put it out. A handful of chefs were injured. The originium pipe sprung a leak, was it? That's nothing new. Well, the investigators could not determine whether the pipe had been tampered with or not. Hundreds of people have access to that kitchen. Who knows if someone did something? You must know that Ding Feng Lu is the most famous restaurant in Baizao and the organizer of the feast. The thing that makes this incident particularly strange is that it happened on the 15th day of the month, and the fire started on the 100th stove. Some say they saw a strange silhouette amidst the flames. Let's stick to the facts, yes? We don't need to fabricate things here. I'm telling you the truth! Many people said they saw it! The work you do at the Judicial Review office is pretty interesting. Listening to you talk about your cases is like reading a detective novel. Come now, we're hardly authors here. It's just that whenever a case drags on for a few weeks without progress, I have nightmares about it. Actually, now that you mention it, I also heard about a strange case recently. There's nothing supernatural about it, it's just plain weird. Oh, another juicy story. Do tell. I really shouldn't divulge too many details about this. You can't tease us like that. The suspense is killing me. This is a matter of great importance. The place where the incident occurred is truly significant. It was the Mr. Ning's Manor, former Minister of Rights. My Shifu has been investigating this case for a while now. I've only heard an overview, he won't tell me more. Mr. Ning has been retired for several years now. He's in the process of leaving Baizao and moving back to his hometown in Jingnan. But a few days ago, a strange thief broke into his mansion. Nothing was stolen and no one was hurt, but in one of the guest rooms, there was a painting of a Xian hanging on the wall, and someone used melted honey to draw a line across the Xian's mouth. Of course, the mansion was heavily guarded, but the thief seemed to know the layout very well. And that thief, whether down to incredible skill or sheer experience, left no trace behind. My Shifu and the others have their hands full trying to crack the case. Sealing the lips with honey? Isn't that from the legend of the Stove God? It ensures the Stove God will say more good things than bad. The thief vandalized a painting, but didn't steal anything of value. They don't care for money? So did they have some other motive? What motive could have had? Minister Ning is an honorable mandarin. He has a decades-long record of dutiful public service. Who could have any issue with him? Regardless, he is an important court mandarin. The ransacking of his manor is no small matter, especially at a time like this. It's our greatest fear come true. Oh, hey! I just thought of something! You scared me, what's the thought? I just remembered that I also saw something weird a few days ago, right in this very restaurant. It was 3 days ago. I was here eating when a real strange customer walked in. He looked to be on the older side and he was still wearing a prison outfit, as if he had just been released by the Judicial Review Office. He sat down and ordered 20 bowls of white rice, nothing more and nothing else. He downed them in no time flat. That's all you're going to eat? Eating all that rice is bound to make you choke. Why don't we whip up 2 little entries for you, and a bowl of soup, on the house? No. It's the Huang rice, nice and fresh. The finest on the land. What other food could I possibly need? I've filled my belly. I've no need for any free dishes. Check, please. After the funny fella finished eating, he grabbed all 20 empty bowls and walked out of the restaurant. He kept walking until he reached the Judicial Review Office. He threw the pile of bowls at the door of the office and yelled, "I'm the one who set the fire in this culinary!" Well, I'm sure you know more about it than me, especially with my terrible memory. Who was that guy anyway? What happened to him in the end? There's no way I could discuss something like that with you. Shh. There are civilians at the next table over. Don't worry about them. I heard that lady speak Victorian. I think they're foreigners. They don't understand what we're saying anyway. Red silk special, malo tofu, soft yellow shells, autumn casserole, and jade surprise. And that's all she ordered. Is she trying to challenge us? She seems very polite. She just looked at the menu and picked out these dishes. Didn't look like she was asking for trouble. You think she might be that food critic? The one who wrote Baizao Cuisine and Food Culture? What kind of food critic comes in and orders nothing but tofu? Relax, chef. Relax. You know how things are going here, business-wise? The future of our restaurant hinges upon this very moment. You have to do your best. The dishes must be flawless. The Victorian woman pulls up a chair and 2 jugs of wine and sits at the table with the 2 mandarins of the Judicial Review Office. She casually pours each a glass of wine. Its rich, sweet aroma soon fills the table. Please drink and enjoy. This wine was meant for sharing. Aye aye, so what happened next? What became of the weirdo who threw the empty rice bowls? Good lady, what you just heard was nothing more than idle dinner's chatter. Whatever you do, please do not share with anyone else. Huh? But you haven't finished the story yet. Where's the cliffhanger? Where's the stay tuned for the next episode? I am a mandarin of the Judicial Review Office, madam. I'm not a storyteller in the tea house. What a coincidence. I have a good friend who works there too. And here I was thinking everybody at the Judicial Review Office was stuffy. Pretentious and tight-lipped. Dear madam, have you come to Yan all by yourself? Are you here on vacation? Let's not be so formal. My auntie's name is Juan, or Blaze in Victorian. And, yes, I guess you could say I'm here on a vacation. I haven't met many Victorians who speak Yanese as well as you do. Huh. Have you lived in Yan previously? Haha, actually no, but I'm not 100% Victorian. My father is Yani... Three rules, you say? Yes, if you can't follow these rules, I won't be able to take you back to Baizao. Okay, lay 'em on me. First, be wary of strangers. Do not, of your own volition, take actions that are unnecessary. What do you take me for, a 3-year-old? I know that, what else? Second, do not tell anyone that you are an infected. Do I really need you to tell me that? Third, do not, under any circumstances, tell anyone about your father. Okay. Blaze, you're an important witness in all these major cases, as well as an important piece of evidence. I need your cooperation, and in return, I will guarantee your safety. What's that about your dad? I'm here to visit some family, and I'm on vacation. Well, madam, you came at the perfect time. The feast of 100 Delicacies is about to begin. All Baizao's restaurants compete to serve the best dishes. This is the time of the year when you can try the tastiest food. Really? Do you have any Baizao delicacies you can recommend, or maybe a restaurant or two? Baizao doesn't have any signature dishes or Baizao delicacies, as you put it. Instead, you'll find that every single dish you eat in Baizao makes a delicacy. Ah, that makes sense. I didn't make the connection until now that Baizao means 100 stoves in Victorian. You know what they say. To the people, food is heaven. Yes, the name Baizao, bestowed ages ago by the reigning Trulung, means to tend all cooking stoves under heaven. Later, someone says, exquisite food demands meticulous preparation. See, fine food doesn't just fill your stomach, it soothes your soul. There are different dishes for every season and every region. The best chefs, they have a wealth of knowledge and the power of the gods at their fingertips. Please, let's eat. Enough fooling around with foreign tourists. Order up! Do you have any special fondness for tofu or These are all tofu dishes? They have different names, I had no idea. Who would have thought that Yan had so many different kinds of tofu? Whatever. There's more than enough tofu for everyone. We'll enjoy it all together. Isn't that the custom here in Yan after all? Alright, let's dig in. What's this? I don't remember ordering a dessert. Did you send out the food? Does she like it? Actually, she didn't really eat much. She gave most of it away to the other customers. Oh, settle down. She might be feeling out the ambience, you know? Just calm down, let's see what happens.
So what is this feast of 100 delicacies you keep talking about?
You may speak fluent Viennese, madam, but there are clearly gaps in your knowledge of our culture. The Feast of 100 Delicacies happens every year in mid-autumn, when the Lung convenes meetings with mandarins at all levels to discuss state affairs.
If it's just a bunch of government meetings, why is it called the Feast of 100 Delicacies?
Now that has a beautiful origin story. Many years ago, the Lung at the time held a birthday banquet, and all the mandarins presented him with gifts, including all manner of rare treasures from across all Yan. But there was one mandarin, a young assistant minister from the Ministry of Revenue, who gave the Lung a bowl of pearl jade soup. The Lung lifted the lid of the bowl, only to find a clump of rotten cabbage leaves and a scant few grains of brown rice floating in some water. The Lung was enraged, demanding, "What is the meaning of this?" The assistant minister replied, "There was a flood at Jiangxi this year, so we had a terrible harvest. What you see in the bowl here is what the peasants have been eating every day."
Speaking up for what's right, that's what any good mandarin should do. Still, doing it to the Lung's face on his birthday like that takes some serious guts.
Yes, the surprising thing is, the Lung did not punish the young mandarin. He praised him and ordered that all other mandarins follow his example in advocating for the people. The Lung ordered cuts to the court budget and used those funds for disaster relief. He built embankments to guard against future floods, and Jiangxi was saved.
Yes, and the following year, the mandarins presented the Lung with a bowl of sumptuous fortune soup to show him that the fineries were thriving.
In summation, the annual banquet became a tradition called the Feast of 100 Delicacies, held every year during the Mid-Autumn Festival. And all restaurants in the city served dishes from the traditional 100 Delicacies menu, welcoming all the people to join in the celebration.
Oh, the Viennese really know food, don't they? This little shop here is a great example. It may look ordinary, but it serves top-notch eats. Just look at how many different types of tofu they can make. Amazing! Well, then again, these cakes here, they taste different to the ones I've had before, and not in a good way. I think something's not quite right with them. Huh? Why's everyone gone silent? Was it you? You're the one criticizing my food? What do you want to show me?
Pick up the pace a little. I'm in there soon.
If you walk in the snow by the stream, the fragrant plum blossoms are rare. However, you can find some at the base of the mountain. I suppose the view of the fireworks against the city skyline from atop the mountain could be the only thing worth climbing all the way up here.
Fireworks? Who cares about those? I brought you here to see this pine tree.
An evergreen. It can withstand the cold weather.
No, that's not what's special about it. I planted this tree myself, right before I assumed my post in Baizao. Back then, I had the same mindset as you. After all these years, I'm a different person now, and this tree is a different tree.
I do not understand.
That doesn't matter. All you need to do now is to look at the tree, imprinted into your memory. Jingyan, you will do well in the Judicial Review Office. You will go on to be an excellent deputy minister, or maybe a minister yourself. Those cases will not be a problem for you. There's really only one issue that you will need to focus on. Will you be able to handle the truth?
I do not understand.
You don't need to understand now. Every once in a while, you will think back to this pine tree. Once you've spent enough time contemplating the tree, you will understand the rest. After I die, cut down the tree. Use its wood to fashion my coffin.
Mr. Yu,
We should be going. The higher you climb, the colder it gets.
years of wind and snow, moments fleeting like blossoms in the morning and evening light. Once more I think back to the pine tree and the mountain path buried in snow. Yu Cheng, what penalty do you propose to atone for your guilt? Huh? What time is it? Has the suspect confessed yet? Sensor Jizhen, this is a serious matter. Please mind your words and behavior. This is a routine internal matter for the Judicial Review Office. The Department of Discipline and Supervision is just going through the motions. It's not a big deal. However, this trial today certainly has been interesting. The minister usually is quite well-tempered. I've never seen her that angry before. Yu Cheng, you served in the Judicial Review Office once. You took an oath before the bronze mirror. Do you really think the Judicial Review Office is the proper place for you to act like a spoiled brat?
That's an unjust accusation. You asked me all that you needed to ask, and I answered them. What else would you have me do? On the 15th of last month, around 1:45 a.m., someone set fire to the southern end of the Judicial Review Office scrollery. That person was me.
Liar. When the fire broke out, you were in pre-trial detention. How could you have started? If you planned the fire, you had help. Name your co-conspirator.
I had no co-conspirator. However, I did have a helper. A foul beast. That night, a wonderful foul beast landed by the window of my cell. I fed it a few grains of rice and some fresh water. The foul beast was quite intelligent. I saved it, and it was willing to return the favor. I gave it a burning straw and told it to fly to the scrollery.
What? Yu Cheng, the courtroom has no time for your games.
I'm not playing games. Ask me anything and I will answer truthfully.
Very well. You say you started a fire. Elaborate on that, if you will. What species of foul beast was it that you used?
Do I look like a foul beast expert? I only remember that it was completely black, without a single stray hair. As black as the human heart.
You said you gave the foul beast a burning straw. You were locked in a cell. Where did you get the straw?
I picked it out of my sleeping cushion.
Your cushion was made out of cotton.
Then my memory is mistaken. It must have fallen in from the foul beast's nest.
The guards did a full search of your cell after the fire. They did not find any foul beast nest.
If criminals didn't try to cover their tracks, we wouldn't need the Judicial Review Office or the Ministry of Justice, would we? That foul beast truly understood human nature.
Why, you...
Alright. As for how I lit the straw in the first place, I struck the cell bars with these iron shackles exactly 863 times, one for each year of the Judicial Review Office's existence. That is as much detail as I can provide on the fire. Will it do? Madam Minister, do you have more questions for me?
It seems that he has been reading some fanciful stories since his retirement. This is no time for jokes. Well, she had the patience to play along with him and indulge his insanity. Do you want to enter the line into the record? Of course. Interesting. Yu Cheng was once appointed deputy minister for the Judicial Review Office's Howran Pavilion. There he took down countless corrupt mandarins and notorious criminals. However, after his retirement, you convicted him of fabricating evidence, which is how he ended up here. As you think back now, do you regret your choice, Deputy Minister Lin? The law is the law. It bends for no man. Stop trying to stir up trouble, Censor Jie. But when we look at it, Yu Cheng's behavior is quite odd. When he was charged with fabricating evidence, he did not question it or protest. Now, after he's been convicted, he decides to start a fire? That's not right. I still have questions. Yes, Deputy Minister Lin? Lin Jingyan puts down her pen and paper and happens to meet Yu Cheng's gaze. The prisoner, who has been pretending to be insane, is now staring at her intently. She wants to know the truth. She does not fear revealing herself in the process. Yu Cheng seems pleased with Lin Jingyang's reaction. He closes his eyes as an ugly grin crosses his face. Deputy Minister Lin, as acting clerk, you need only take notes. Minister Shen, there is one question you haven't yet asked. Yu Cheng claims he set the fire. What was his motive? The suspect's confession is clearly nonsense. Why bother asking his motive?
I am the one who set fire to the scrollery. You must believe me. As for why I did it...
Yu Cheng! There were 74,000 case files in the southern section of the scrollery, the result of 60 years of painstaking effort and the hard work of 24 deputy ministers, and you saw fit to turn it all to ash? Yu Cheng suddenly droops his head. He remains silent for what seems like ages. The minister's eyes remain fixed on him, watching his every move.
As I see it, it was no great loss. Those files were filled with half-truths, whitewashed fabrications, and outright lies. Gazing upon them dirtied the eyes. Thinking of them taints the mind. So I thought it best to cleanse it all in flames.
Cleanse? Just what are you trying to say?
What am I trying to say? If you're keen to know, then let's have a discussion. That which I burned, was it clean or dirty?
Minister Shen, the suspect is clearly suffering from some sort of mental disease. It's getting late. Shall we conclude the questioning for today? Escort Yu Cheng back to his cell. I truly regret that we subjected the Department of Discipline and Supervision to this circus here today. It is truly a vexing case. We understand. The Judicial Review Office will be sure to submit a full explanation to the Department of Discipline and Supervision. I just hope this can be resolved quickly, so I don't have to make so many trips here. You've planted way too many camphor trees in this courtyard. They're making me sneeze. I shall take my leave now, Deputy Minister Lin. See you. You should be off too, Lin Jingyan. The courtroom door swings open. As sunlight pours in once more, Lin Jingyan immediately spots the 7 towers with 18 pointed roofs hidden in the shadows of the trees. The Judicial Review Office scrollery were all built in this style. The roofs of the towers seem to be covered with ash, the remnants of the burned southern section. Just as she is about to step out the door, she hears a faint voice.
Lin Jingyan, it's almost time. Do not forget.
Lin Jingyan steps out into the cold sunlight without even hesitating. Sensor Zhen, you're still here?
I was waiting to chat with you for a minute. It's not convenient to talk in there. If you still want to investigate Yu Cheng's case, you'd better move quickly. After the Feast of 100 Delicacies is over, all prisoners detained in Baizao will either be transferred to another prison or exiled. In any case, the cells must be emptied within 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
The Imperial Decree should reach you shortly. I just spotted it early, so I'm giving you a heads up.
And here I thought you didn't care much for these things.
It is within my power to avoid caring, but you cannot get it out of your head. Yu Cheng is very important to you, isn't he?
He was kind of like my teacher in the Judicial Review Office. He's the one who taught me to distinguish right from wrong. When I first discovered that he had fabricated evidence to convict a corrupt mandarin, I shrugged it off as using any means necessary to achieve justice. However, I never imagined he would set fire to the scrollery. There's absolutely no justice in that.
Indeed, I can't figure him out.
But it does provoke a question. They've never emptied the jails for the feast before. Why do it this year?
This matter may not concern you directly, but I'm sure you've heard something about it. Human experienced a catastrophe at the beginning of the year. Then, this summer, we suffered the Da Huang incident. And what was the root cause of all this?
The bestial Sui. This 1,000-year-old case must finally be resolved.
I dare not engage in presumptuous speculations. This is as much as I can say for now.
Sure. Sensor Zhen, why did you terminate the ongoing interrogation?
As the saying goes, words may deceive, so trust your eyes. I wager you haven't seen the burned scrollery yet.
No, I have not.
Perhaps you'd better go and see for yourself. I will take my leave. The restaurant, which was loud and boisterous just a moment ago, goes completely silent. The regulars, anticipating what is to come, file out of the diner one by one. Of course, they remember to leave money for their meals.
Jiang, close the door. What? What happened? Jiang, wasn't she just eating these tangerine cakes here?
Yes, she was.
Didn't you tell me she was criticizing the taste?
No, she said they tasted different. Not bad, just different. Jiang proceeds to wink vigorously towards Blaze.
I guess you'd call it criticism. They're not exactly orthodox, different to what I had before. So, you're the head chef, huh? Pretty young, aren't you? Don't try to change the subject. I was just critiquing the food, that's not a capital offense. Besides, I thought the rest of the dishes were awesome. Now you're on to flattery. This is my restaurant, and I have my rules. You either tell me what's wrong with the tangerine cakes, or I won't let you leave. I told you already, they taste different to the ones I had before. Where and when did you eat them before? Oh, maybe... more than 10 years ago? When I was living in Victoria, a relative sent them to me. Did you come here to stir up trouble? Jiang, escort her out.
No, we're not in the habit of kicking customers out of the restaurant. Good madam, think for a minute. What exactly is it about these cakes that tastes different? Maybe this is all some kind of misunderstanding?
Let me think. I remember the tangerine cakes I had before were sweeter. Yes, you must not have used enough sugar. The tangerine cakes need more sugar. To think I took you for a food critic. You're a woman with absolutely no taste. I won't waste my time arguing with you. Please leave. You say I have no taste, when the real problem is your cooking?
Oh no.
My cooking, you say? Don't make me laugh. My cooking, my culinary talent, my... Alright then, I'll make you a bet. Go out this door here and sample the food at some of the other restaurants. If you find a better tasting meal, I'll keep you this entire shop. Oh no, no please. But if you can't find better food, you have to sit at this table by the window and shout out to the streets. Shout what? Apologize to me 100 times. But what would I want to with your restaurant? Let's do this instead. If I find food that tastes better, then you'll let me eat here for a month free. And you'll teach me how to cook a few of the tastiest dishes in Chinese cuisine. Also free of charge. There's an old Chinese saying, give a man a fin and you'll feed him for a day. Teach a man to fin catch and you'll feed him for a lifetime. This restaurant, when I leave I can't take it with me. If you teach me how to cook a few tasty dishes, I can cook them for my friends. But weren't you just criticizing my cooking? I told you all your other dishes taste great. Wait a moment. Don't think you can just trick me like that. We still need to discuss the tangerine cakes. Okay, I'll take your bet. I know I can find tangerine cakes somewhere in Baizao that taste like the ones I had before. Huh? What's that weird smell?
I think it's coming from back in the kitchen.
I know that smell. It's like something is overcooked. My stew!
Dear customer, I apologize. Our head chef has a bad temper and is easily offended. Please come again, alright?
Pretty weird. I've heard that skilled chefs tend to be eccentric. In fact, I'll bet the reason he was able to become a good chef was precisely because he takes his food so seriously. Did you notice that each of the 5 tofu dishes you ordered had tofu cut in a different way, yet every piece of tofu within each dish was exactly the same size and shape? I don't think many chefs in Baizao could accomplish that. You overheard our argument? I'm sorry, I wasn't eavesdropping. You were just within earshot. You were all having such fun sharing your dishes amongst yourselves. Well, I believe you accidentally took the plate of tangerine cakes that I ordered. Oh, sorry about that. What a dummy I was, thinking someone else's food and then having a fight with the chef over it. You wait here, I'll order you some more straight away. No, there's no need for that. I came here today to try the food. After seeing how much you all enjoyed it, well, I figured it must be good enough. However, I'm still a little curious. What exactly did you not like about the tangerine cakes? I can't really put my finger on it, but I just know I've eaten better ones before. Are you sure the dish you ate before was indeed tangerine cakes? Of course! One of my relatives lived in Baizao and would ship me these cakes. There's no way I'd be wrong, I'm sure. May I trouble you with a request then? You're going out looking for another restaurant that serves these tangerine cakes, right? Can you take me with you? Sure, you're from Baizao, aren't you? That's perfect. You know your way around these parts. And then again, it's getting kind of late. Let's meet here again tomorrow at noon. What do you say? Certainly. Alright, by the way, my name is Blaze. I'm a tourist from Victoria. How should I call you? I am a woman of a few hobbies. I like to write, and I like to eat. My pen name is The Wandering Foodie. In any case, you may call me Xingju for short. Such a trove of knowledge, those wonderful archives. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
The dark space still has a lingering acrid smell. On the collapsed beams of ironwood, murky raindrops tremble, ready to fall. The iron chest that once held so many records and books have been warped and twisted by the flames. The paper and ink within have smoldered into ash, leaving only faint traces of words.
Do not linger too long. Rain showers after a fire sent smoke up into the air. What have we learned so far? We've determined this to be arson. The absurd part, the fire's time and location match Yu Cheng's confession perfectly. The scrollery was heavily guarded, yet on the night of the fire the guards didn't notice anything. Not only was the perpetrator highly skilled in Kung Fu, but they also had intimate knowledge of the Judicial Review Office's layout. They must have been working with Yu Cheng for quite some time. You're saying you think this was an inside job? We cannot be certain. How bad was the damage? All records that were burned were from old cases, which has little effect on our current work. However, if these cases were ever to be reviewed in the future, there would be no evidence to go on. Nearly all of these cases were Yu Cheng's responsibility. Do you really believe Yu Cheng was the one who burned the scrollery? Absolutely not. No matter what nonsense he spouts, he was imprisoned when the fire broke out. There is no way he could have done it himself. However, I'm sure he's involved in some way. He's working with someone else. What did he mean when he suggested the files are dirty? Is there something on your mind? Do you still remember the last case Yu Cheng investigated before he retired? How could I forget? 40 years ago, the Minister of Justice was stabbed in the street. The assassin turned out to be a mad beggar. The Judicial Review Office did everything in their power to uncover the man's identity to no avail. In the end, they classified the murder as a random spur-of-the-moment act of violence. But nearly 30 years later, Yu Cheng accused the sitting Minister of Rights, Ning Chu, of being the murderer. I've worked with Yu Cheng for many, many years. I knew him better than anyone. However, in his last few years at the office, he began to change. Something radicalized him. He began doing whatever it takes to catch criminals. He even started fabricating evidence to close cold cases and settle old scores. If the accusations against him were baseless, then why did Minister Ning resign? What do you mean? Do you still remember Gu Xuan? It all began when Gu Xuan, serving as the envoy of ceremonial rites, died en route to Victoria. Yu Cheng believed that Minister Ning murdered the Minister of Justice and then killed the important witness in the case 30 years later. But that's the absurdity. The envoy had only just taken office. How could he have been connected to a case from 30 years prior? Moreover, the envoy's manner, place, and time of death were all clearly established. He drowned near the Victorian border. How could the Minister of Rights have orchestrated his death, all the way from Baizao? The Judicial Review Office recorded Gu Xuan's death in the case files. The files are somewhere in this pile of ash that lays before you. Why raise these two cases now? Do you think they are connected to the fire somehow? I would call it a hunch. Yu Cheng's confession has drawn our attention, but clearly, there's some kind of larger scheme behind the fire. The real question isn't who set the fire, but the arsonist's ultimate goal. Would you hand the case over to me? No. On what grounds? Yu Cheng asked you to take notes during his trial. This is why you stand here now, and it is also the reason I cannot allow you to participate any further. Whatever Yu Cheng's plan, you are most certainly a part of it. I know you regard him as a mentor and couldn't bear to see his reputation tarnished, but I will assign someone else to investigate a fire. Rest assured, we will get to the bottom of this. What about the case that Yu Cheng once investigated? You'd best forget about those. No matter what you intend to investigate, it's simply not a good time. Why do you say that? Li Qingwan, you are a deputy minister in the Judicial Review Office, not some patrol woman. Every case you handle has a ripple effect. Your so-called act of justice may very well become a dagger in the hands of those with ulterior motives. So you know what's really going on with these cases, don't you? Stay away from Yu Cheng's cases. This is my suggestion. Do not force me to make it an order. Oh, and I have one final piece of advice. You must learn to prioritize. The past is never as important as the present.
The young deputy minister is still standing in the same spot. She walks down the path that's been cleared through the rubble, through the place that once held so many case files.
The arsonist's motive is quite clear. He never wanted those files to see the light of day. Whether Yu Cheng fabricated evidence or not, all evidence, available clues in both cases point to Ning Shu. But why would the Minister of Rights assassinate another high-ranking Mandarin?
She bends down and brushes aside a charred beam, revealing a hint of green emerging from the ashes. It's a pine tree.
Yu Cheng, you...
I planted this tree myself, right before I assumed my post in Baizao. After I die, cut down the tree, use its woods to fashion my coffin. Then Qingyan, it's almost time. Do not forget. This month's water bill is 2,000 and electricity is 2,500, while ingredients costs,
Go do your accounting somewhere else, please. I can't stand you buzzing in my ear.
According to my calculations, if we can come up with another 3,000, we'll be able to keep the doors open past this month.
And where am I going to dig out that coin?
There are ways to do it, like the 2 months of meals owed by Wang the carpenter, or you can visit shopkeeper Liu across the street and ask him for the balance he owes for last month's funeral banquet. Collect enough of those outstanding debts, and we'll have what we need to make it through the month.
That's less than ideal, isn't it? Customers on credit are in a tough spot. Going up to them and calling in the debt right now feels awkward, to say the least.
You want to play the good guy? Why, every time the rent collector comes calling, do you ask me to deal with them?
You're... big boned. Even if the rent collector is angry, he won't take you on in a fight.
Maybe there's another way. Ding Feng Lu is coming here again today to hand out invitations to the competition. They're hiring chefs in preparation for the feast of 100 Delicacies. If we can manage to win the competition, the prize money alone will be enough to pay our rent through the end of the year.
No. No way, no how. I am the proud owner and head chef of Savors at Use. How could I stoop so low as to work for someone else?
This is no ordinary cook. The head chef of Ding Feng Lu doesn't take apprentices. But even a casual demonstration provides enough to keep most chefs learning for 3 to 5 years. Plenty of people dream of working under him, never to get the chance. Besides, it's for the feast of 100 Delicacies. The menu is recorded every year and passed down through generations. This is the lifelong dream of countless chefs.
Those who want to attend are free to go. I shall not.
Are you scared?
I'm not scared. You're scared. What feast of 100 delicacies? It's nothing more than a group of old gray hairs hosting a big dinner party. All they ever talk is politics. They don't even have a chance to eat. It's a waste of time.
Just listen to your arrogance. You talk as if you've been there in person.
I've catered so many banquets. They're all the same.
You won't take any of my suggestions. I guess we're just going to let this restaurant fail then. Good grief, with a boss like you, I've got to start making my new career plans.
Okay. If it's just another 3,000 we need, I'll start making extra deliveries each day through the end of the month.
Have you no ambition? As a chef, don't you want your restaurant to do well? I'm not even sure why you opened it in the first place.
People need to eat, which means there has to be someone to cook for them. As long as we have customers who want to eat my food, this restaurant will do just fine. More importantly, I promised I'd wait for a certain customer, and that one still hasn't shown. I can't close the shop yet. What customer? What do you need to wait for? It's just not time yet. A great stew demands patience. You have to add in the ingredients at just the right time. There is no need to rush. What's with this thing? I can't get any channels. I want to watch the news. Hey, you're back. Indeed. What have you learned? I brought some food for you. I found a new restaurant today. The kitchen stinks to high heaven, but the cooking is pretty solid. Oh, right, there's one other thing. Today I found these snacks that my dad once sent me a long time ago. Who gave you permission to leave your room as you please? What? Seriously? I've been living off takeout for 3 days straight. I just wanted to go out and grab a bite to eat. Is that not allowed? How many times have I told you? Your identity and status are extremely important. Your current situation is dreadfully tenuous. Are you taking this seriously or not? Lin Qingyan, are you off your rocker? We already established the 3 rules. No one said I was confined to my room. I had a good life back at Rhode Island. Then you showed up and told me my father's death was suspicious, without giving any details. I came all the way here to Baizao, the place where my dad used to live, and you still haven't told me anything. You've made me stay in this room day after day, and now you have the gall to yell at me? Forgive me. I should not have scolded you. The current situation is not as I had anticipated. What situation? Is there anything I can do to help? I don't know. A lot of unexpected things happened in Baizao before we arrived. If you would aid me, then simply do what you can to avoid danger. Understand? As for your father, I just happened to be handed a case a few years ago. The case was originally being handed by my predecessor, someone I trusted deeply. Your father seemed to have been spending a lot of time pursuing a certain truth in the last few years of his life. His death was suspicious. Every clue we've found hints that there were larger forces at work there. How large? We don't know for certain, nor can we even hope to guess. But your mere existence is the most important piece of evidence we have. Blaze, I vow to you I will find the truth, and once I do, I will tell you everything. However, until I do, I simply need you to trust me. I need you to cooperate with me. By the way, what were you saying about your father just now? I said I found these snacks that he used to send me a long time ago. And they don't taste the same as they used to. Maybe it's just because I'm remembering wrong. The Yanese have a saying for this, right? The situation remains the same, yet the people have changed. No, that's not right. The situation has also changed. Well then, a more apt saying would be, times change and with them change all things. Too much time has passed. It will be very hard for us to find any clues left from back then. But these are in fact one of the few things I found in Baizao that relates to my father. When I lived with my mother in Victoria, my dad would send them to me from time to time. I figured that by the time I got my disease under control and figured out what I really believed in, my dad would be back in Victoria, waiting for me to come home. Naive. Everyone longs for that sort of happy ending. And yet, by the time I found a place that could treat my neuropathy and finished some of the things I had to do with the bunny's crew, my dad was gone. Before you came and found me, I always thought my dad's death was an accident. I was sad, but there was nothing I could do about it. But if you're telling me my father was murdered, then that's an entirely different story. I need to learn the truth. I owe that to my father and myself. In all truth, I know very little about what happened to your father. Many of the old archives have been lost, and very little information can be extracted from what remains. Just from looking at the case files he left behind, we can see that your father worked as a ceremonial officer in the Ministry of Rites for over 10 years but never got promoted. It seems he was not well suited to serve in public office. However, to stay in a position like that for over a decade, he must have been a good person. Good people also die.
She walks over to the window, closes her eyes and rubs her temples. The faraway city lights are shimmering in the twilight. The years of wandering are long over. People today are moving from one stage of life to the next, as the city guides them and runs right behind them. Many boundaries are blurred, many high walls become thoroughfares, many hurried footsteps pass over the paving stones. Not everyone is qualified to etch their name into the annals of history. Alright, that was quite a long one. Yeah, the story is very, very, very dense. At least here at the beginning, they are doing a lot of plot introduction and a lot of character introduction as well, because we have quite a bunch of new ones that are gonna be plot centering for this whole thing. But yeah, a lot of characters got introduced. We saw a bit of why and how Blaze got here. Blaze and Lazy, that is, got here, and quite a lot of things. But before I talk about all that, let's do the usual quick enemy info introduction. Beginning with our first enemy called Breakfast. Abomination born from the daily meals of the people. Breakfast is the first meal of the day, and thus should be hearty and plentiful. Drops sapidity when defeated. Expletive. Abomination born of the influence of the Sui proxy, originally a broken clay pot. The dinner table has always been a place for petty squabbles, and the clay pot is hardly the only thing that gets broken. Sapidity. Spirit born of the meals people cook every day. Everything picked up by the chopsticks, joy or sorrow, mirth or anger, is a slice of life. Vapidity. Abomination born of the meals people discard. Put down the cup and lay aside the chopsticks. All is meaningless and the meal on the plate. Vapid. Sapid Auspice. Abomination born of a convergence of sapidity. Likes to hover over places where many gather. An auspicious symbol that drives out illness and keeps disease away. And its counterpart, Vapid Blight, abomination born of a convergence of vapidity, likes to hover over places that are barren and broken, a symbol of misfortune. A lot of food-centric stuff again. But yeah, we got introduced to the whole reason, a bit of the whole reason, and essentially the timeline of how Blaze and Lazy got here. Also, again, seeing Lazy finally being utilized in a Sui story is so nice. Can we agree to that it's finally so nice to see Lazy being utilized? I mean, she is a Sui regulator that we've met in the main story ages ago for a brief snippet of a moment, and she suddenly became playable out of nowhere. Again, she is a 5-star that has been with the game since I think like year 1, if I remember correctly, and we had, like I said at the beginning in the introduction, we had her talk about Blaze, that there is something more going on with Blaze, and Blaze talking of course in her files as well, that there is more there with her past and everything, her father dying, yada yada, and now we finally dive into the plotline. My god. It's been excuse the pun, but it's been cooking for a while, hasn't it? This pot has been cooked and it has been buried into the ground, and now it's been unearthed again. I think the meal is ready. But yeah, finally getting these two to see their actual interactions beside the little like teases of blurbs from their files and voice files and module stories. Seeing again Lazy a bit more in the story, in this story interact, and I do wonder how much more we're gonna see later through it. I do hope more. I do really hope more. I do want to see more of her as a character, and yeah, again, Blaze is just super friendly to everybody, making friends all over the place and pissing chefs off. Probably the best part. But yeah, anyway, let us move on to our next and final cutscene for today, the beginning of stage number 2, titled Malt Sugar Candy. Give the stove god malt sugar candy on the 23rd of the 12th lunar month, so he reports only the good things when he goes back to heaven. Very specific. Anyway. It's high autumn. The courtyard is silent. Its long, thick walls prevent outside noise from coming in. It's empty, save for an old persimmon tree leaning against the wall in the shade, with its old crown extending over the top of the wall. No one knows what this old tree has witnessed over the years. We do know that, since its planting, it has turned red and green, and red again, as the seasons have flown by. Each year, bright red, fresh persimmons grow from its branches, and each year, these beautiful fruits wipe away old memories of previous harvests. The old man sits under the tree, sleeping in the shade.
Grandfather. Grandfather?
What? Sisha, you're back?
Yes, I got delayed a bit on my way back, but thankfully I made it in time for the Mid-Autumn Festival.
I've been thinking a lot these past few days. I've been watching the persimmons grow redder and redder. I was afraid that if you didn't come back soon, we wouldn't be able to eat them together this year. I'm not sure how many more harvests I will live to see. If you had come back any later, you may not have even seen me here.
Grandfather.
Ning Xinshu decides not to crack any jokes, as she usually would have done. She looks at the old man closely. He seems to have a few new wrinkles on his forehead this time. The autumn wind blows suddenly, ruffling the old man's hair.
We completed our trial of Da Huang's first mobile plate last month. I finished up my work at the Ministry of Rights for now, so they allowed me 2 weeks vacation.
You've worked really hard. I heard about the goings-on in Da Huang as soon as they happened. I've detailed all my criticism in my letters. I know you were involved in the disaster relief effort as well. But every Yanese mandarin is duty-bound to protect the people. As an assistant minister of the Ministry of Rights, you must take responsibility for the poor management here. Deducting half a year's pay and letting you off easy, you have nothing to complain about.
Of course I shall not complain, and I take my errors to heart.
Zisha, you must remember, do not focus on what you've already done. Focus on what you still haven't done yet. As a magistrate, you must carry out the orders of your superiors, while winning over and maintaining the trust of those below you, the citizens. In your position, everything you do is only what was expected of you in the first place. However, should you fail in even the slightest of your responsibilities, it would be an unforgivable transgression. If you do not understand this, you are not fit to wear your magisterial robes.
Devote all your energy to the cause, as that is all you have to give. I still remember the words you taught me so many moons ago. I shall take this mistake to heart, but I shan't despair. Quitting now would really be shirking my responsibilities.
Yes. Okay, I've said enough on this for now. I am not in your position, nor do I work in the Ministry of Rights. Therefore, I have no right to interfere. Now, I am more worried about your injury. Are you well?
Do not worry, grandfather. I recovered quite some time ago.
Broken bones take at least 3 months to heal, so please take caution. In a few days after you get settled, make the time to go see a doctor. An old friend of mine gave me medicine patches. I'll give you some to take back home with you.
Very well, grandfather.
You kids are always making me worry. I'm just about to move back to my old hometown. My son and daughter never come to see me, and your sister is never home. Everyone's forgotten me.
What you say about my sister sounds true, but as far as your being forgotten, forgive me, but these past few days you've closed your door to all visitors.
This again? Kids these days, you don't have your priorities straight, do you? I haven't had a single moment of peace in this courtyard since the beginning of last month. The youth today are clever. They're not knock on my door to offer me wine or tea. Instead, they've started watering my flowers. My poor hydrogeneas. I spent so long growing them. And these kids have already drowned 3 pots this year.
You've had so many visitors lately. I'd wager the minister came and showed you the draft guest list of the feast, didn't he? It's rare to see the true Lung even once a year. I'm sure many would treasure the chance to learn the latest court gossip.
I have no reason to meet a young lad. He's the minister after all. What does he need my input for?
Come now, grandfather. You served for decades in the Ministry of Rights. Your achievements were many, and your legacy is secure.
That's all in the past. If we keep focusing on the past, how will we deal with the present?
Mr. Ning, you have a guest.
I told you, no visitors. Who is it anyways?
He says he's the advisor to Human.
The advisor to Human? Never heard of him. I don't care who he is. I said no visitors, and I meant it.
Grandfather, wait a moment. Might the advisor be here to see me?
Good sir, our master is not accepting visitors right now. Please come back another time. Please tell Ning, your master, that an old friend is here. Sir, no offense, but judging by your age, are you sure you're an old friend of the master's? It's true. I dare not make up stories. Sir, please be on your way. The master is not accepting any guests right now. If you really are an old friend, then I'm sure you wouldn't want to cause trouble, would you?
Mr. Liang? Do you not recognize me?
Miss Ning, it's been a while.
I heard you just returned to Baizao. I wanted to see you. Liang Shun's eyes shift from Miss Ning to the figure standing behind her, the kindly old man.
Don't just stand there, Xixie. Invite your friend in for a bit.
Well...
What's the matter? Why isn't anyone eating? I feel like the third wheel here. And an old one at that. Maybe I'll just step away for a moment, and the two of you can enjoy your meal.
No, you've got it all wrong. It's us young kids who are intruding on your magisterial greatness.
Grandfather, don't scare him like that.
I'm only kidding, Liang Shun, I assure you. When Xixie was still in Shengshu, she used to write me letters, talking about a magistrate there who was both supremely talented and dedicated to his people. Today I finally get to meet him.
When did I?
It's my birthday in 3 days. I wasn't planning to go through the trouble of organizing a grand party or anything. So today, eating dinner and chatting with you two youths is how I will celebrate my birthday.
Let us wish many more years of health and life to your greatness.
Here, here, grandfather. Many happy returns.
Alright. Enough of that. Let's eat. Liang Shun, I thought you were a magistrate from Shangshu. Why have I now heard you are the advisor of Yumen? And why have you traveled from Yumen all the way to Baizao?
Yumen's journey was a long one, and the people once living in Yumen have been resettled in batches in different nomadic cities along the route as planned. The last group settled down in Baizao a few days ago.
Wasn't Yumen patrolling the northwestern corridor? How did you end up all the way over here in Baizao?
Dear grandfather, have you forgotten? Yumen changed its route at the beginning of this year. The new route it was traveling on took it right to Baizao. As for why Yumen traveled to Baizao, surely you remember that?
Yes. Because of that same old problem again. All those years of fighting, and still no resolution. It's been so long since I retired, and sometimes I still hear those voices in my nightmares. It gives me a headache.
It's a problem that existed for several millennia now.
Sometimes issues resolve with the passage of time, other times they get worse. Now I think we need to find a way to solve it. Grandfather, do you have any ideas?
Me? Of course not. If I were to try and intervene, people would accuse me of being a dictator.
Not necessarily. The minister has been coming to see you every few days or so. He never mentioned this to you.
Miss Ning, there are some things which your grandfather must keep private, you know.
My grandmother sure is direct, that's for sure. No matter, I am an ordinary citizen now. I am free to speak as I please without fear of divulging secrets, because I do not know any secrets. As for this matter, however, I must defer to the advice of the young. Well, Liang Shun, what's your solution?
I dare not propose any grand solutions. However, there is one thing I do know. The best strategy is to disrupt your enemy's strategy. From the court's perspective, war has no upsides, only downsides. From the people's perspective, war means death and destruction.
The best strategy is to disrupt your enemy's strategy. That makes sense. But if we always followed this reasoning, the true Lung would not have started a great hunt 1,000 years ago, and Yan would never have experienced a millennium of prosperity.
Times change and circumstances change. It's hard to compare things across different historical eras. That war 1,000 years ago was called the Great Hunt, but it wasn't really a hunt. It was the Yanese people wresting their future from the hands of the gods. Retreating, even just a little bit, would have resulted in their extinction. However, things are different now. We are operating from a place of strength. We can and must avoid war at all costs. We cannot allow our soldiers and civilians to suffer any further.
Very well said, young man. You are far more skilled than I ever was, that's for sure.
Goodness no, forgive me for being so bold, your magisterial greatness.
You say war should be avoided, and I agree. Well then, surely you have an alternate strategy, right? A way to get the situation under control?
Mr. Ning, another visitor has arrived.
What's this now?
She says she's a deputy minister from the Judicial Review Office with urgent business to discuss with you. She insists on coming in.
The Judicial Review Office?
I suppose I will have to let her in. My sincerest apologies, but I must excuse myself for a moment. Xisha, please continue chatting with our guest here.
A deputy minister? You don't think it's Lin Qingyan, do you?
You know her too?
Anyone who deals with the Yanchi bureaus has at least heard of her.
I've heard by the Yangshan, the Blue Thunder Count, is senior to her Shifu. She's skilled in Leifa and solves cases as quickly as lightning. But I am not sure why she has come to see my grandfather. You waited until I was asleep and then locked me in this room? Why? I'm not a 3-year-old, you know? Let me out of here! Damn it! I'm supposed to meet that lady now. I didn't even get her contact, so I can't call her. What am I gonna do? No, I can't break the door down. They might kick me out of here, and then I'd have no place to stay. But this window... I'm on the 18th floor, huh? That's not that high. Alright, I'll jump!
Miss, you've been standing here for ages. Are you going to make a purchase or not?
Sir, let me ask you again. This painting here, Springtime in the Garden, is it truly an original work by Xu Xiang?
Miss, you can ask anyone around here. They all know my shop only sells authentic goods. I certainly know how to spot a fake painting. Look at the technique, the essence of the painting. Who else but Xu Xiang could have done that?
I'm no arts expert, but I see a serious anachronism in this painting. These grapes on the table here, this particular variety of grapes was not introduced from Gaul into Yan until the year 628. However, this painting is from the year 580. How do you explain that?
Oh, come on. That's quite a nitpick, isn't it? You're just trying to bargain down the price, aren't you? I've seen your type so many times before. I'm warning you. You won't like me when I'm angry.
Good sir, I never intended to buy your painting in the first place. Why would I be trying to bargain with you? Besides, what I said about the grapes is true. Don't take my word for it. Look it up, if you don't believe me. If you think I'm wrong, then prove it. Get as angry as you want. It won't turn your fake painting into a real one.
If you don't want to buy it, then why are you standing here? I swear to you, if I'm selling any fakes in this shop, may heaven strike me down where I stand!
Why is there a canopy above the upper floor? Blaze? How did you... I'm not late, am I?
Sorry for making you wait. I've had so many guests visiting lately. Apologies. You are...
My name is Lin Qingyan. I'm a deputy minister with the Judicial Review Office. I came here to ask you a few questions, Mr. Ning.
The Judicial Review Office, you say? Haven't talked to anyone there in many, many years. I'm not even sure who's in charge there anymore. Is it Yu Cheng?
Yu Cheng? No. I'm afraid you're mistaken. Deputy Minister Yu is no longer working with us.
Ah, that's right. Now I remember. One of the Blue Thunder Count Leifa students transferred from the Tianchi bureaus to the Judicial Review Office. Well, that must be you, yes? I heard that Tianchi Bai was transferred back to Baizao a while ago, yet he still hasn't come to see me. Not even for some tea or a bit to eat. I guess he doesn't have time for this old retiree.
These are extraordinary times we are living in. The Tianchi bureau must be extremely busy. I'll mention it to the Count the next time I see him.
Sorry for going off on that tangent there. Please, sit down and have some tea.
They sit down in an elegant room that's tastefully decorated and furnished. There seems to be an empty space on the wall where a painting should be hanging. The part of the wall that had once been covered by the painting is a slightly different color, which makes it stick out even more.
Mr. Ning, the tea is elegant, and so are you. Everything in this room is excellent, but something's missing. A painting, perhaps?
Yes. The missing painting is, in fact, a longevity painting that someone gave me many years ago. It's supposed to help you live longer, but as the saying goes, the older you grow, the heavier birthdays feel. I believe it served its purpose.
I would not have expected you to be so superstitious, Mr. Ning.
Growing old has left me at fate's mercy, hardly free to act as I wish. It must make you laugh, yes?
But I heard that a thief tampered with one of your paintings recently. They sealed the lips of the painting with honey. It's an old folk custom to celebrate the new year. They do this in hopes that the stove god will only say good things and not bad things. Whoever the thief was, they had some other motive in mind besides theft. Why did you not report this vandalism?
If I never reported it, then how do you know about it?
One of my colleagues is handling the case. I saw the case file, but the one who first reported it, I don't believe was anyone from your estate.
Well, I'm glad there's at least someone out there who cares about an old man like me. I would not have expected you to believe in those folk tales, Deputy Minister Lin. I am a mere citizen. You, on the other hand, are a Mandarin, and your time is valuable. You came here today to ask me something. Just go ahead and ask me directly, please.
I came here to ask you about someone, not something. Do you remember an individual named Gu Xuan? 10 years ago, Gu Xuan accompanied some Yanese dignitaries on an official visit to Victoria. They encountered a catastrophe, a blizzard, along the way, and poor Gu drowned in a river. Have you any memory of that, Mr. Ning?
Yes. How could I forget? I believe it was December. It definitely happened in the winter. By the time the news reached Baizao, it was almost the new year. I remember the messenger told us that after the storm came in, the envoys got trapped on the mountain. Gu Xuan stayed at the back of the line, helping shepherd everyone else across the river. In the end, he's the one who ended up falling in. The river must have been freezing cold.
It looks like that incident made quite an impact on you.
Gu Xuan was a very good worker. He served the ministry very well. He was very well read and had excellent calligraphy. It's a pity he had no family. The only remnant of him is a cenotaph in the Cemetery of the Virtuous. Every year the Ministry of Rights sends someone to tend it and pay their respects.
No family?
Look at me blathering on again. Well, anyway, why do you mention Gu Xuan?
A Yanese diplomat dying in a foreign country. That is a major international incident. According to the laws of Yan, both Yan and the other country must send experts to conduct a joint investigation and compile a final report. However, after Gu Xuan's death, the Ministry of Rights did no such thing. Even more startling is that the Judicial Review Office's records of the case are remarkably sparse.
I'm confused. This is clearly a question for the Judicial Review Office. Why are you asking me? I was in the Ministry of Rights.
Well then, let me remind you. 2 months before the team left on their mission, Gu Xuan was just an ordinary 9th rank Mandarin. How did he suddenly get promoted to envoy, much less be set on a mission to Victoria? Well, you are the one who signed Gu Xuan's transfer order. At the time, you were the Minister of Rights.
Now I understand. You're saying that I deliberately arranged for Gushuan to go on a diplomatic mission to Victoria, and then disposed of him.
No, that's not what I'm saying. There is something strange going on here. I intend to solve these cases one by one, and I humbly ask for your guidance, Mr. Ning.
Since you're so curious about this, why not ask me a few more pointed questions? Do you think it's odd that I, as a former Minister of Rights, would trouble myself over a mere 9th rank ceremonial officer? Are you implying, perhaps, that he discovered more unspeakable secrets about me? So you're just here to ask me about a 10-year-old case? No matter. Ask whatever you wish. Just remember, if you keep asking the same questions, you will keep getting the same answers. What kind of answers do you want?
Truthful ones.
I already have one foot in the grave. What reason do I have to deceive you? Then again, if you suspect me of committing so many crimes, then you surely don't view my testimony as credible.
I just want you to tell me why Gushuan was suddenly transferred. Once you tell me that, we'll be able to figure out the rest of it.
Okay. You came all this way to see me, so I think I should tell you what you want to know. Gushuan was indeed transferred for a reason, because he specifically requested it.
He wanted the transfer?
Yes, he said that he was ill and was afraid he didn't have much time left, so he wanted to return to his hometown in Victoria to live out the rest of his days. So I agreed to let him join the delegation to Victoria.
What illness did he have?
I'm not clear on the details either. I only vaguely remember that Gushuan did seem to be in poor spirits around that time.
But as such a low-level Mandarin, Gushuan would not have had many opportunities to even meet you. How did he make such a request?
To be honest, it's a bit embarrassing. But there was a hint of selfishness on my part as well. Gushuan had magnificent penmanship, so I sometimes had him write letters for me. I also asked him to serve as my children's calligraphy tutor. He had done so much for me. I felt I owed him a favor. Besides, I did not feel his request stemmed from greed. That's all there is to say about Gushuan's transfer. Do you have any other questions for me?
Since I've heard it directly from you, I'll take what you're saying at face value. However, I disagree with one thing you said.
What?
Anyone who wants to know the truth, be they a Mandarin or an ordinary citizen, does not need a special reason for doing so. Please know, Mr. Ning, that I am indeed only after the truth. I have no other motives. Now I shall take my leave, sir.
Good day, madam. Say, where is Liang Shun?
It's rather late, grandfather. I saw the young man out many hours ago. My word, you invited him in to have dinner, and then you had him wait there forever. That's a poor way to treat a guest.
Yes, where are my manners? Tell him I apologize and please let him know that he's welcome to come back anytime. Next time I will be a proper host. I owe him that much.
Liang is a reasonable man. I'm sure he'll understand.
By the way, his name is Liang Shun, right? Which Shun is that? How do you write it?
It's that Shun with 3 dots on the left.
Ah, that one. In Shun Mei Qi Yi. A spray of spring gifted to you. Such a beautiful name. I'm rather fond of it. I've heard that people with the 3 dots in their name characters are as clever and swift as water.
Funny, the others all say he is as dull as a board.
The old man walks to the table, picks up a pen, and adds another name to the invite list.
Maybe he is rather dull. He came all this way to see his sweetheart, but look at the gifts he brought. Human's tea, some strange liquor called Ye Dao Ji. These seem more like gifts meant for me.
Lin Qingyan, wait.
Who's there?
Lin Qingyan gets a strange feeling she's rarely felt before. A woman with a sword advances to within a yang of Lin Qingyan, yet she doesn't even notice her, until she is standing right in front of her.
Your uniform. You're in an Imperial Guard?
They fixed his portrait. My god. Big Horseman Liang has finally received the blessing of the gods. His facial portrait on his sprite has been fixed. He's not anymore crooked neck horse guy. Holy hell, I thought I shed a brick the moment I noticed that the first time upon him appearing in this story. Holy, so many years later. If just for context, if I still have the picture on my hard drive somewhere, I'm gonna put it right now on screen. But years ago, when this guy got introduced the first time around, Liang Shun, his portrait, his facial portrait was just slightly crooked. For some reason, they screwed it up, and it kept on being the case in Invitation to Vine, in Vernal Winds, and now here, pretty much four stories later since his original introduction, he is finally fixed.
Oh, good God, why did it take so long?
Why did it even happen in the first place? What happened to the poor guy? But yeah, he's finally fixed. Holy moly. I cannot believe it, a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle, and it's the middle of July. But yeah, he's finally fixed. I'm happy. But anyway, otherwise, yeah, a lot of political intrigues, a lot of new characters, and a very diesel-looking woman that appeared right there and then at the very end. And yes, I know, I'm stopping right here with this part. I want to know more about who this chick is, but we are all gonna figure that out in the next part, and what she's about and why she's looking for Lazy. But yeah, again, I'm enjoying this so far. I'm having a lot of fun. Even it's very weird as well. I usually notice this in a lot of the stories where I'm doing voiceovers. I sometimes have a lot of trouble like delivering the lines as cleanly as possible, and have to make so many retakes. This story there was a lot of text, but it was way easier to do. Also, that old man, my god, he's gonna be the death of my throat.
I have to keep talking like this for a long while.
Oh god. He yaps a lot. It's not like the voice is hard to do, it's just like the longer it keeps going, the drier the throat gets. And the scenes with him are like 10 minutes long at a time. Oh my god, he's gonna murder me. But anyway, this will be it for this part. I am excited to see how this is gonna continue. I don't believe I said it in the opening of this, but if I did and I'm repeating myself, apologies. But of course, I don't think I need to remind people, please do not spoil anything that is happening in this story moving forward. And obviously, if you're gonna be leaving comments, keep the comments to what is happening in each part, or what happened in the story so far, so you don't spoil the rest of the story, both for myself and for the people watching this, you know, when they look at the comments. Keep it as spoiler free as possible, please. Thank you very much in advance. But yeah, outside of that, we will see next time how this story is gonna continue, and how far we will get in the next part. The stories, or rather the density of the story so far is pretty there, and we'll see how much denser it's gonna get. But I'm having fun voicing it. I'm having fun with the intrigues that are happening. I do wonder what is the whole plot with the old man. Why the old man is being. I mean, if the old man is gonna be like the prime suspect that actually, you know, ordered a hit on Blaze's father. And yeah, I think it's not a secret at this point, even though they didn't explicitly say it, but the guy Gu Xuan is definitely Blaze's dad, considering the name Gu, and she also carries the same family name, so you know, that one's kind of obvious, but we'll see. We'll see how this develops. I am looking forward to it. I hope you all are looking forward to it as well. And yeah, I'm gonna keep on slowly trucking away on the story as this event is gonna be live until we're gonna be completely done, as always. Hopefully that old man will really not wreck my throat. He's a challenge. He's a challenge, but a fun challenge. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, thank you very much for listening, hope you enjoyed. If you did so, please consider leaving a like, it would help out a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Pretty much the entire game of Arknights is done. There are playlists, just hit the name in the search box on the channel and you'll find it. And yeah, if you want to support me more directly, memberships are open. No video will be behind a membership, it's purely there for support. Thank you to all the members already doing so. And of course, I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are. And I will see you in the next part. Until then, bye-bye.
Don't worry about them. I heard that lady speaking Victorian. I think they're foreigners. They don't understand what we're saying anyway.
Oh, she's immediately in the in her altar outfit. Okay. I was expecting the usual trip of changing down the line through the story, but no, we're immediately starting with caster version. Okay, Victorian tourist question mark in perfect Yanese. Oh god, already starting. Great.
Then again, these cakes here, they taste different to the ones I've had before, and not in a good way. I think something's not quite right with them. Huh? Why is everyone gone silent?
Oh god, here he comes. Okay, the grumpy voice is him. He felt called out. Amazing. Just runs in. You little shit. Was it you? You're the one criticizing my food?
Mr. Lien?
They fixed his neck. Oh my god, they fixed his neck. It's a miracle. 2 years in a row, this poor bastard had a crooked, absolutely out of place portrait for his face. They fixed it. It's a miracle. Wow. 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 I was I'm actually, this is the most shocked I am so far about this story. Nothing about the story. But the fact that they fixed the horseman's neck. Holy shit, it happened. But this, oh god, yep, skydive.
But this window... I'm on the 18th floor, huh? That's not that high. Alright, I'll jump.
There she goes. There she goes. Good old Blaze, skydiving, free falling. Oh god. If I'm selling any fakes in this shop, may heaven strike me down where I stand. Well, there's Blaze.
Why is there a canopy above the upper floor? Blaze? How did you... I'm not late, am I?
No, you're just on time.
Yet she doesn't even notice her, until she is standing right in front of her.
Whoa, who the hell are you? That is a dope new design.